Hey everybody, I don't know if anyone's going to jump onto the group call today. I know it's that weird transition within the week before the new year. Christmas is over. We hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. And as we are kicking into the new year, this is the great time to reflect on what we have accomplished so far in 2023 and what do you want to accomplish in 2024. And I think the challenge is great because for me, it was this checklist of things that I know that I need to come back to after I've had a couple of days off, after I felt kind of crummy. Maybe I've overloaded on certain foods and beverages and kind of need to get my system back in gear. And so that's where I hope the challenge is playing a good, kind of checklist for you guys to continue on into that first week of January. So we've just got a couple, another week and a half so left of the challenge. Hopefully your checklist is going great and keeping you at least inspired to check off some things and not lose all of your progress. Of course, you're not losing all of your progress. You guys are here. You're being coached by us and you guys are following through. And of course, know that we are here if you need support, if you need that kick in the pants. I need it too. I need it from, my coaches helping to get me in gear and do work on my body composition goals for 2024 and beyond. So I figured I'd go over a couple of things just to kind of help remind you and refresh you and inspire you to kind of get back into the swing of things if you have fallen off, or if you've held steady and kept going strong. Awesome. Then let's just kind of reinforce the messaging. I actually wanted to give you guys some suggestions for books. I think one thing that would be good to consider is if you are not somebody who normally reads health and nutrition and fitness books like myself, I'm obsessed with all of them. I think it would be good for 2024 for you to consider at least one to kind of kick off your just goals in general. And there's actually a really short, sweet, and simple one by this guy named Sam Miller. I've been following Sam Miller forever. It's called Metabolism Made Simple. It is perfectly aligned with what we teach and what we practice, and it's just kind of reinforcing the message of, sleep and stress management, nutrition, resistance training, movement, etc. And he does a really great job just kind of summarizing it, keeping it short and sweet. So that would be a book that I would recommend because I think every once in a while it would be good for us as we are learning and advancing ourselves in our health and fitness journey to educate yourself. The more you educate yourself around some things, even if it isn't like maybe a topic of interest like it is for me, I can read all the nutrition books that are out there. It's something to consider. Another book I would consider is Flexible Dieting by Alan Argon. I will share this list, by the way. I'll do the little AI recap that this Zoom does. I can send that your guys' way, but to give you guys the list of suggestions here. But that's another great book. It's more of a textbook feel style. It's a little bit bigger. It's really well done, well executed. I love Alan Aragon. He's a great researcher on all things health and fitness and somebody who's great to follow on social media too. And the next one would be Forever Strong by Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. That is a wonderful book. She's been like a role model of mine forever. Somebody who is really well, like just her history and what she's done and how she's worked with the elderly and so much more, like just her knowledge on muscle and muscle-centric medicine and really prioritizing protein and resistance training and how to optimize that. Super, super great read. And she gives you suggestions and other things within the book too for, again, just very aligned. Like I would almost wish I could be like a certified Dr. Gabrielle Lyon coach. And I think someday she is having a course for coaches and I will be absolutely signing up for that one. The next book suggestion would be Genius Foods by by Max Lugavere. He is great. I love his podcast called The Genius Life. His mom struggled with something on a different kind of level of dementia, Alzheimer's. There was one other component to her disease. And so he has really created a mission to help protect the brain and the body. And because my mom has Parkinson's, that's another focus of ours, which has been like, how do we protect the brain? How do we protect the body? How do we age well? How do we give ourselves the right nutrients? And he does a pretty good job. He can sound pretty intelligent too when he writes. Like him and Sam Miller have kind of this intelligent style where sometimes it's just hard for me to absorb a little bit. But Genius Foods is a really great overview of just optimal foods for brain health. And if we're thinking long term, we would be thinking about how do we support our brain, not just our body and our physiques, but our brain so that we can be as optimal as possible as we age. Like our goal should be just to live well, live long, and just drop dead. And what I mean by that, even though it sounds a little like, just drop dead, it's more so that we don't want to be suffering or frail or, sick in our older age if we can avoid it. It's not necessarily 100% guarantee. We know there's lots of healthy people who have had ailments they've had to deal with, or sudden things to their health change, or people can become paralyzed. Like, life can happen, but the goal is like, how can I try to be as healthy and optimal as possible? Muscle is going to be part of that. Nutrition is going to be part of that. All of the stuff that we're teaching now is going to be part of that. And then the last book that I would suggest, because we do have a lot of women in this group that are 30 and over, or you're approaching those ages, and getting into your 40s and 50s, it would be Next Level by Dr. Stacy Sims. She's fantastic for perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, education and information, and really just kind of, again, another doctor that we super align with. We take a lot of her principles and suggestions from, and that would be another informative book to kind of throw your direction for suggestions. So I just thought, like, if you were to pick a book, here's a list of 5 books to choose from that are nutrition and fitness related. And if one of them sparks your interest, I highly recommend getting the hard copy or the paperback version of it, and just taking the time to make that part of one of your readings for the year. It'll definitely benefit you. Those are great choices. The other thing too is we're kind of getting ready for the new year, and things are, you're trying to get back on track, or just really get back to the swing of things, or kind of reassess. I think it's great if we, I just lost my place here. I was clicking into something, sorry. So I have notes here on my page that I'm looking at. We're obviously huge proponents of realistic goals. For those of you who have joined our program officially, we've bought Atomic Habits for you. So that would be great to refresh yourself. If you haven't finished it, try to finish it. If you've finished it already, maybe refresh yourself on a couple of chapters. I think the first he does a really good job sectioning off the chapters. I think the habit stacking is really what's most important, and then setting some rewards around the things that you accomplish to make them, make these goals more attainable. Creating a plan, and however we can help you guys with goals and plans, please reach out. Obviously, we'd love to meet with all of you guys as we kick off the new year to create that 2024 plan. We're helping you guys focus on small baby steps, one at a time, focusing on nutrition and helping you guys stay consistent with your choices and your goals. And obviously giving you guys the support that you need and tracking your progress within the app, and then trying to help you guys manage your sleep and stress, and just kind of taking the opportunity as the year wraps up to kind of see, hey, what did you accomplish? What went well? What could use some refinement? What could be better? Was there a reoccurring theme in the year that was causing maybe some roadblocks for you? What changes can we make in the new year? And a lot of it, hopefully, those of you who've been with us for 6+ months or whatever, it's just kind of continuing to reinforce and continue to do what you're doing, because most of you guys have gone through a fat loss phase. Now you're in that maintenance phase. Now it's kind of like, hey, what can my body do? Let's work on some body composition goals, and that's a beautiful place to be in. Then we have some other people who are still working to lose weight, myself included, kind of thing. And there's where we're trying to figure out, how do we navigate around the stressors of life, and what are the reoccurring things that pop up in your life that continue to hold you back. There's sometimes where some of us are going to come on the new year and be like, man, I feel like I haven't made any progress, or I'm still in the same place. And so there's an aspect of working towards trying to find some positives, some good things, some things that you've learned. And even if you feel like you aren't where you're supposed to be, that the awareness around that is truly half the battle. And how can we make the new year the difference? Because everyone has their breakthrough moments. There's moments where you finally just get it, and like, it makes sense. And this fitness journey just doesn't end. There's no end game, right? And that's what's the hard part about dieting. Why we say you never have to diet again. A lot of the times you're aiming for something specific. There's a short, there's this end date, there's a wedding, there's a birth date, there's an event coming up that you're aiming for. And then when that event comes, you're kind of like, okay, well, now what? And it's really easy to fall off. And our goal is that when you've lost the weight, we don't want you to gain the weight back. That's actually the harder part. The harder part is keeping the weight off. It's not losing the weight. So that's why it's great with those of you who have lost that 20 to 30 pounds. Now it's like, hey, it's the real game right now. It's the perfecting maintenance period of time. So that's where we're trying to get everybody, is getting to the point of where we're perfecting maintenance, because that's where the secret sauce is, especially, I say especially for females, but for all of us, really. So, like I said, everyone's going to be in a different position where they feel like Either you feel like you've gotten a lot of progress, or you feel like you're in the same place, or you feel like you had some setbacks. And so it's one of those things where a new year is a fresh start. And even though about 7 to 8% of those who make New Year's resolutions are the ones, out of 100% that complete or follow through, the statistics on those people that actually commit, like it's pretty good. So if 8% are following through at 100%, you've made progress. You've hit your goals. So there's nothing wrong with New Year's resolutions. It's just creating the strategy, the habits, and the accountability to follow through with those commitments to yourself. So I kind of thought like, hey, a little end of the year pep talk, because hey, I'm not going to see you until next year. My dad does those jokes. He'll always be like, oh, I haven't talked to you all year. Oh, I haven't given you a hug all year. So I will do the same. But we want to connect with all of you guys, and make sure we support you, get a strategy. So let's meet up. I'll make sure I post a little recap in our forum with our booking links so we can touch base. Last thing I would add is that in the new year, we're definitely working to grow this community. So just to keep in mind that if you do refer people to us and they sign up with our program, we do give you guys commission. We do give some kind of reward in the sense for referring somebody if they sign up. I will be focusing on getting events out there, free events for people to attend as a way to kind of grow this community. So at this time, right now, we're going to move down to one grouping coach call a week because there's just not a need for it to be twice a week at this time. I think as the group grows and maybe as some of our coaching styles change a little bit, maybe to more of a group centric kind of, community, as opposed to just one-on-one, we're kind of doing a mix of both. We're going to move them to Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central. So it seems like Tuesday nights seem to work the best for a lot of people in their schedules. And Wednesdays seem to be sometimes for Bible studies and other events that are pretty popular for people's schedules. So we'll be changing it just to once a week on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I'm considering making it 7:30 p.m., but I don't want us to be like, for us, obviously Central Time, I don't want it to be too late for East Coast, too late for Central. So I might put a poll out there just to be like, hey, does that extra 30 minutes make a difference for people on the Pacific? Because I'm thinking of all the time zones. I'm just trying to accommodate all the time zones. Maybe it's 5:15. I don't want it to be like a funky time. But anyways, it's changing to Tuesdays just once a week. And that is honestly like the time that you guys can all come together, ask questions, make connections. I know a lot of you guys are in our kind of older style of coaching, which is dominant, which is basically one-on-one, but the group calls are meant to serve the community. They're meant to be here for, questions and concerns and support and accountability and for y'all to cheer each other on. So I understand if this group, it's not necessarily a habit yet because it hasn't been created like that yet, or like our coaching. Anyways, I think you get what I'm saying. But either way, we're going to remove Fridays. We're going to do Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Central. And you all should be getting some new fresh meal plans for January coming up very soon. So if you guys need anything, just let us know. I'm going to be creating a new link through a new portal that I have. I've been using Calendly for a long time for booking calls. So I'm going to start using our my Hub 360, which is our platform for email and landing pages and all of that stuff too. So I'm going to experiment with you guys to see how that works. So we'll get some feedback from you guys. So hopefully this was a good little pep talk. Again, I thought, some book recommendations, utilizing us to create a plan, strategizing for the new year, reflecting on how things went this past year, what you guys want to do differently and how we can best support you. So if you guys need anything, you know where to find us. And if I don't officially talk to you in this format, Happy New Year. We're so blessed that you guys are working with us and we cannot wait to crush 2024. So I will talk to you later.